good for people that haven't done it, okay? So we're going to start here, right? We're going to start extended, and we're going to step in, and we're going to equalize power. Now, there is a lot of power there. So this is equal. So, meaning you have to understand how the power, you can equalize. So Dean doesn't push me back, I don't push him back. So even if the guy is physically so much stronger than you, he still has to match your power. If you're physically stronger than him, you have to match his power. So this is an important thing initially to understand, the equalization of power. So we do that in the middle here, and we push, right? So we're going to do this a few times. You'll see, we go 1, 2, right? And we just keep doing this, right? And then I'm going to put my power behind Dean and bounce him out. Okay? So if you noticed, my arms didn't do this. I did not push him forward. So we do it again, right? So we come in, all right? So my arms are here. I don't do this. So the feeling looks like this. 1, 2, 3. So I literally only go a little bit deeper. But when the power is supposed to be equal, and now you've placed your power behind him, it feels to him like he's bouncing off a wall. And that's why he goes out. Okay? So now here's, Dean's going to do it to me. Right? So, you come in. Okay, right? So, notice what I keep. I keep my structure, right? Okay. So, now I'll be the bad training partner. Okay? So now I'm the bad training partner. And I just let my arms go back and I relax. Okay, that's not what we're doing here. So as you're coming in and you're doing this, you have to use the same power you used on the first one, on every single one, and when you get to here, there's no relaxing. So once you're here and he goes to bounce you out, your body is solid, stiff. It's not loosey-goosey. Okay? So what you need to realize is again, this is a drill. So this is something to develop a particular skill. But let's talk about Chen-style Taiji fighting moves. So if we're pushing with you, and you're just doing this kind of stuff, being like this, right? Our rule is we hit you. So we strike you. Okay? So if you think you're going to just be loosey-goosey and there's not going to be a consequence, there's going to be a consequence. Because what fight have you ever seen where the guy's just being like this, loosey-goosey and right? You're only getting away with that because it's push hands, right? So here, you have to learn how to be a good training partner. So, practical method training. There is no positive reinforcement. What does that mean? Well, what that means is you do something right, and it feels like you didn't do anything. So now we've got a problem, right? You're like, okay, you're telling me, you know, I threw you across the room, but when I did it, I didn't feel anything. There's an issue there. The issue there is we're humans and we always want to feel something. So now what do is we start making adjustments to try to feel something and recreate that action. Right? Instead of just keep doing what you were doing, and when that action happens again, you just go, oh great, and then go back and keep doing what you're doing. And eventually, maybe as your skill level goes up, you start creating the stretch, rotation, all these different things. Now, that ability becomes more and more evident, and it starts happening more and more. When something happens, and you start to change what you did to feel it, you immediately have major problems. So let's talk again about the training. So I just had Ed Martini out by me. You know, so the first time I issued on him, you know, he went right up, hit the floor, right down to the floor. And I had to stop him and show him how to bounce out and regain his feet. And then the same thing, when I initially did this, he kind of allowed his body to do this, and he's not going back where it feels very good. So on this, when you come in, there is no point when you're like this. There is no point when you're like this, either person. So again, the principles are consistent. I come in, my back is straight. I come in, my back is straight. I get bounced out, my back, I try to keep it straight. Right? Okay. So, when you're a training partner, you have a specific job. Now here's the real issue. In Chen-style Taiji practical method, your job is probably the most important job. So, I'm doing it with someone where as soon as I touch them, they go flying. Right? And I'm saying to myself, there's no way I did it. So now I got to grab another guy, and that guy, it's a more normal bounce out. And I'm like, okay. So now I got to tell the other guy, listen, you're throwing yourself. You're just jumping as soon as I touch you. And look, some people get nervous, and I understand it, right? Because it can be a little intimidating, right? So I get it, right? But now you're a training partner, so you have to do your role as a training partner is extremely important. So you cannot relax your arms, you cannot lean back and do this, right? So it's the same thing, right? So, you know, again, like I said, if I'm pushing hands, what me and Dean are pushing, right? If I'm just like doing it, right? So there's no engagement, there's no fight, right? So really, what's Dean getting out of it? He's getting nothing, right? But it's the same thing though. If I'm teaching a particular move, so let's say I'm trying to help Dean with a particular move. So let's say he catches me here, right? So he's got me here, right? Okay? So now I tell Dean, right, to do a circle and bring his elbow to his dantian, right? And now he's got me, right? And that's all he has to do, right? And if he works on getting that rotation with his body and fixed points, this becomes extremely powerful. So as he does it again, he's got me, right? Okay. But now, right, I'm the master and I'm teaching the student, right? But, you know, maybe this guy's kind of pretty good. And, you know, maybe I'm not so good, right? So now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can't, I'm not going to show this guy the right way. I'm going to show him a little wrong so he can't get it, right? And I can always be the top doer. Now, if you have confidence in yourself, that should never be the case. You should show people everything. So now what you start doing is, he puts me in this position, I say, okay, pull your elbow into your dantian, and I go like this. And I go, no, you don't have it. No, you're not getting it. No. Now, this can also happen when you have a lousy training partner. So, you're trying to do this, and as he does this, the lousy training partner just kind of collapses. So again, the rule with us is, if the guy does that, you hit him. You hit him with a body strike, you hit him with whatever, and then when he gets up off the floor and says, why'd you do that? You say, well, in a fight, if you just went limp, I would just take you out. Like, why would I just, you know. So you have to engage, and you have to engage properly. So one of the things is you have to learn to become a statue. So that means, like, when I'm in this position, I stay in this position. So when the guy bounces me out, I'm still in this position, right? Now, it may happen where, because the power is behind me, so this goes back first, right? This goes back first. But it's not this, it's not this, it's still this, and especially if you get under the guy and really push him up high, and then he goes in the air more. Okay? So try it again. Training partners, you have an important job to do. Please try to do it.